take their seats. I will now call the Monday, March 3rd, 2008 council meeting to order. Thank you very much. We will be having the invocation by Pastor Chris Coppola from the First Presbyterian Church of Homestead, and also the Homestead Senior High Junior ROTC will be performing the Pledge of Allegiance in honor of their school being acknowledged tonight by Councilwoman Sierra. Would you all please stand with me? Would you pray for us, Pastor?
I'm sorry.
You pray for us.
Let's pray. Deep in thought. Father, as we come here to seek the peace and prosperity of the city, we, as the City Council, first pause here, take a moment to seek counsel from you. This evening, our mayor and the men and women of council are going to be faced with many questions and have to make many decisions, and we ask, what is the right decision? What is the truth? And therefore we come to you and ask for wisdom and discernment, a spirit of peace and understanding, so that all our decisions and discussions here would give honor to you. And as we look to Christ, we're reminded, Father, that as leaders of the city, as we seek peace and prosperity of the city, we're reminded that we are not here to seek power, but to give it away. In leadership, we're reminded that we're not here to be served, but to serve, not to be recognized, but to recognize others, even if they think differently than us. And Father, just give us a spirit of love as we serve our city, because you are the God of love. And we ask this in Christ's name. Amen.
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 Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. We have a very special presentation tonight to FBI Special Agents Rick Lund, Jason Coffey, and Carlos Cintron. Councilman Nelson?
roll call.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Bell?
Here.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Here.
Councilwoman Lobos? Here. Councilman McCormick?
Here.
Councilman Nelson?
Here.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Here.
Councilwoman Waldman? Here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Nelson?
Mayor, can I interrupt for 1 second?
Yes.
We just have an item, additions, deletions, deferrals.
That's right.
We happen to have just a few deferrals, if I can just briefly
Please.
announce them.
I'm sorry. I'm just excited for this
No problem.
our guest tonight.
The following items will be, at the request of the applicants, deferred to the next council meeting, which is 7 p.m., March 17th, 2008. That's item 7A, which is tab 2, item 7F, which is tab 7, and item 8B-II, which is tab 14.
Thank you very much, Mr. Waldman. Now, Mr. Nelson. Then I'm going to join you.
That was 27.
What's 14, right?
14. That's 14.
Mayor, if I could make a quick correction, instead of all three items being deferred to March 17th, the applicants have requested those three items to be deferred to the first meeting in April 2008, 7 p.m., which is April 7th. Thank you.
Madam Mayor, City Council, Mr. City Manager, I'm Captain Tom Fogarty with the Police Department. We have Chief Al Roll, Major Scott Kennedy, second in command of the department. Back there is Sergeant Chip Becker. He's the supervisor in our narcotics division. And of course, Councilman Nelson, our public safety chair behind me. We're here to recognize three special agents from the Homestead FBI office. We work very close with these gentlemen. We have Jason Coffey, Rick Lunn, Carlos Cintron. The supervisor of the FBI out of Miami is Raul Fernandez, and he came here with them. Before I have Major Kennedy talk a little more about these agents, I just want to fill everyone in how this works in Homestead. We work very close with these agents on task force operations. One of the task force that they work with is helping municipalities and the county on gang violence, gang crimes. If we have crimes that may be federal jurisdiction, these agents respond and help us go federally, indict the individuals. They're constantly at our station. We work very close with them. We really feel like they're part of our department, and I'll have Major Kennedy fill you in a little bit more. Major. I'm sorry. I just said a few words. It's okay. No problem.
Good afternoon. Before I get started, I'm going to let Major Kennedy and the mayor wrap it up, and also the councilman here. I just want to say that, and it may seem facetious, but it's the truth. I've been with Homestead I'm almost completing 28 years. And I worked with the FBI office during that time in Homestead. And I can truly say that in my 28 years of being with Homestead Police Department, I have never seen three outstanding guys that work so hard in supporting our department. A couple of times I had to remind myself that these guys didn't work for me, even though I started to put them on a clock, because when I come in the station, either I'm coming or going, these guys are always in the back of the station or they're in the parking lot. A couple of times, and I was serious about it, Jason, when I said that. We have a work squad that come to the station every day, and they clean up our station, and they also wash our cars. Jason, they're there so much. I told them, anytime you want your car washed, just back it in, and we'll take care of it for you. But in all sincereness, these guys have been a blessing for Homestead PD, and it's just a pleasure to have them in our department working the way they work with us. And their professionalism is unbelievable. It's not one day go by that one of the guys in the department from the Detective Division tell me something good about these young men. And tonight, I'm going to let Major Kennedy wrap it up, but it's truly an honor to have them with our department, working with us. And right now, being the police chief for 10 years, I don't think I take anything other than these guys working with us. So just for me, to the three of you guys, thank you, I appreciate it. And you guys are well known in this community, and you always be loved by Homestead PD. Thank you very much.
It can be hard to follow what the chief just covered, but what the chief said is truly meant by everybody inside our department. As many of you know, 9/11 changed everybody's lives. And it changed a lot in how we operated in law enforcement. Before, I think we're all guilty standing before you today to say that prior to 9/11, that we had very little communications between the federal, state, and local authorities. Well, if there's anything that came out good from that, it's the fact that law enforcement has changed its outlook on everything. A lot of information fell through the cracks, whereas nowadays it's shared readily and daily between the federal government, the state, and local government. It's truly a fact and proven fact here that we have three individuals here tonight to receive a plaque and recognition from our department, because they are sincerely appreciated for their professionalism, dedication, and motivation in protecting the lives and safety of not just the citizens of Miami, but specifically of those of the Homestead. I've worked very closely with all three agents. I'm regularly in touch with them at least once or twice a week, sometimes at nighttime, sometimes on the weekend. They always make themselves accessible. And I will say, and this is not to knock the previous people that we've had here, because we've had some great agents here, but it's never been better than what these guys have gone above and beyond, providing us that partnership, communication, and sharing of information that we've been able to accomplish a lot. We have been, I can't stand here before you tonight and talk to you specifically on investigations, because many of them are ongoing. But I can tell you that these three guys here are well appreciated, well loved, and their cooperation, their efforts working with us that's why we thought it was so important to have them here tonight to be recognized. So, Jason, Carlos, Rick, you guys are the best. Thank you.
Gentlemen, the City of Homestead, the Police Department, we have a plaque to present to you. Presented to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Special Agent Carlos Cintron, Special Agent Jason Coffey, Special Agent Rick Lunn, for your continued support to the Homestead Police Department during numerous, and we mean numerous, operations. March 3rd, 2008, from Chief Alexander E. Roll, Jr., the Police Department, and the City of Homestead. We do terribly appreciate you. Thank you. Wide lens.
Yeah, hold that stomach in so long.
Thank you so much.
One other thing I want to mention too.
Your time's up.
Right quick. Thanks for the Special Agent in charge, Mr. Fernandez, because they always say, a good leader always have good people following them. So I want to thank you for your leadership and for you having those guys working with Homestead PD. We really appreciate it, and hope that sometime you can come down and share some of the things that they do with us, with you. Appreciate it very much. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I want to also acknowledge the police explorers that are standing in the back. Thank you so much for allowing the Junior ROTC to address this evening by performing the pledge. Thank you so much for your support in being here tonight. We just want to let the police explorers know how much we appreciate you as well. Thank you so much. We now have a plaque presentation to Homestead Senior High School and principal for the most improved school attendance for the second grading period in Miami, Councilwoman Sierra.
Good evening, everyone. What an honor it is for me to be here tonight with two amazing principals, amazing superintendent, and an amazing mayor who, without her leadership in the Education Committee, we wouldn't be where we are today. I would like to call up Ms. Neva Navarro, Regional Superintendent, Region 6, which are all our schools here in Homestead and abroad. We hear a lot of times in the news all the wrong things that are going on with our schools, and unfortunately, many times we don't get to hear the good things. Well, tonight I'm going to share two wonderful things and two wonderful students from these schools, because I think it's about time we start sharing everything that's going right, because there is a lot going right. Neda, do you want to say a few words before we call up the principals?
I didn't know I was going to be speaking, but I have to tell you that on a daily basis, I am very, very proud to work with individuals like the principals that we have here tonight. Ms. Maisonette from Homestead Senior and Mr. Vidi from Homestead Middle. These are principals who are first-year principals of that particular school. Actually, they're first-year principals, period. This is their first assignment as principals, and we are extremely proud because they understand that if the children are not there in the school, the children cannot learn. That's a basic premise. If they're not there, they cannot learn. So I, as a region superintendent, am proud, and I have to congratulate and commend these two individuals for being the leaders that they are, for not only increasing attendance, but also for decreasing outdoor suspensions, and that's a feat. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Mr. Viti, if you can join me, please. This is a certificate of recognition that is awarded to Principal Nikolai Viti, not only to the principal, but to your school faculty and staff, as well as to the students of Homestead Middle School. Do we have any students here tonight? Were they able to make it?
Just Mr. George right there.
Oh. In recognition of your hard work and dedication resulting in earning the Most Improved School Attendance Award in Miami-Dade County Public Schools for the first grading period, the City of Homestead salutes you. Thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to, before I really get into this award, I'd like to thank Ms. Sierra for when she took her seat this year. She came in with a sense of urgency and really the focused effort to highlight the good things that are happening in our school. So again, I want to thank you for that. It's almost uncomfortable to receive this award because I think everyone knows that in the school the principal can't do anything by him or herself. So with that said, I'd like to recognize Mr. Earl Berth, one of our assistant principals that has taken a lead on our attention. Ms. Cobb, she's one of our lead teachers and she's done a phenomenal job. Also to our students and our teachers and our parents, really. Again, I can create a vision and a goal, but without the support of the administration, teachers, and we have another teacher out there, Mr. Tomlinson. Without the buy-in from the administration, the teachers, and students, and more importantly, parents, a vision is nothing. So, again, this is humbling to receive this, but it's almost uncomfortable because really everybody should be behind me receiving this with me at the school. So, thank you for highlighting the good things that are happening, and hopefully there'll be more things to come. Thank you.
And now if I can have Carrie Masonette from my Homestead Senior High School. Carrie, this certificate is in recognition of all of your hard work to the principal, Carrie Masonette, school faculty and staff, because like Mr. Viti said, we couldn't do this alone, and the students of Homestead Senior High School in recognition of your hard work and dedication, resulting in earning the Most Improved Attendance Award in Miami-Dade County Schools for the second grading period. So we had the first grading period, and now we have the second grading period. And we have a total of 256, is it, schools in Dade County? I'm sorry, 333. So to get a feat like this, and they're both in our backyard, in our hometown, I really thank you guys. Yes.
I, as well as Mr. Viti, would like to thank the staff and students at Homestead, as well as the parents, because without the parents sending us their children, we couldn't do it without you. Councilwoman Sierra, to you and to Mayor Bell, thank you for taking the time to come to Homestead and see what's really happening. There's a lot of positive things that are happening. If you haven't looked in the newspaper, we're sending articles almost every day, and we're trying as well to highlight the positive things, because they are great kids. The letter that we earned does not stand true for what we have in that building. To Major Mack and also Sergeant Perez, who were here and brought 4 young men from our JROTC, we thank you. These students are coming to tutoring every day and trying to do what they need to do to make sure they pass the FCAT. So I thank them from the bottom of my heart. I have Shameen Matherin, also a student here. Shameen, come on up, doll. And to Shameen's parents and her sisters, thank you for believing in the teachers at Homestead.
The next award is going to go to a young gentleman named Christopher George. Now, let me explain to you, Christopher got a very important award, and it's called the Do the Right Thing Award. And that award says a lot. Students from schools throughout Miami-Dade County were named December winners of Do the Right Thing program, sponsored by Miami-Dade Police, British Airways, the Miami Herald, and WTVJ NBC6. Winners were selected from hundreds of nominations submitted to the program for December. And we have one of the 10 winners in our own backyard, Mr. Christopher George. And next, we have one more award to give this evening. It's a student from Homestead Senior High School, Shameen Mathurin. Did I say that right? Mathurin? Okay. Well, Shameen has done a lot of wonderful things in her very short life. She is a full-time student in Homestead Senior High School in the Practical Nursing Program and will graduate in June of 2008. She will leave here with a high school diploma and a certificate of completion in practical nursing, allowing her to sit for the Florida State Board of Nursing exam to become a licensed practical nurse, a career she is now well prepared for. She is also in the Mayor's Youth Council and many other volunteering programs. This is a shining star, another shining star in our city, and I thought it was just absolutely important to bring these people in front of you so you see what we have in our backyard. It's always the picture that takes the longest. Let me just sneak it in. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you guys very much. Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Councilwoman. Thank you for your good hard work.
Is that sharp?
We also have some school graduates on our own council with us this evening, and they graduated from the Florida Institute of Government at Florida State University. There is a school called the Institute for Municipal Elected Officials. Boy, I'm feeling old. I took it 4 years ago. We have tonight with us Vice Mayor John Burgess, Councilwoman Wendy Lobos, Councilman Melvin McCormick, Councilwoman Nazi Sierra, and these all, and I'm going to read you the letter. On behalf of the John Scott Daly Florida Institute of Government and the Florida League of Cities, I am pleased to award this certificate to you for the completion of 18 hours of instruction. It probably felt like 48, right? 18 hours of instruction at the Institute for Elected Municipal Officials in Gainesville, Florida on January the 25th to the 27th, 2008. It is our sincere hope that you found the program challenging, informative, and rewarding. Now that you have taken the basic EMO, we encourage you to attend the Advanced Institute as well as other league and institute government programs. We strongly believe that your willingness to complete this program of study is indicative of your commitment to improving the quality of municipal government in Florida. We commend you for this and sincerely thank you. With warm regards, John Henry, Executive Director. Let's give our council a hand. Stay here for picture. Thank you. Do you want it front?
Color's beautiful.
Thank you very much. We now have a Little Angels presentation to the Homestead Police Explorers, Councilwoman Waldman, followed by a Park to Park Trailway inaugural bike ride report from Councilwoman Waldman.
I think it's so befitting tonight that we're honoring the youth of our community, and we certainly do have a lot of youth that need to be honored that aren't honored often. So I'd like to ask the police explorers to come forward. Is that Miss back there? Do you want to come? And all the police, really, I mean, you're all a part of this. Please come forward. This chief is so tall that he covers up. He's bigger than you, that's right. I just want to say a few words about the police explorers. And Councilman Nelson, if you'd like to come forward as well, I know that you represent the police explorers. I had included you before, but for some reason you weren't on the agenda. These young people have been behind the Little Angels since the beginning, and we've already gone through a few teams, because we started in the year 2000, I think 1999 actually, and it is just such a pleasure to say, Lizanne's been with me from the beginning with it, that I don't even have to call them and ask them. They call me and say, what can we do? And we've had, not the honor, but an unfortunate honor to take care of some of the police explorers that have had misfortune happen to them. But always, 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 these young folks come out and they work so hard, and we love them so much, and we always honor them at Christmas time. But I just wanted to do something a little special because they helped us so much with some of the festivities that we've had over the last few months, and we have been very busy. So I see Claire and Ed out there. I don't know if there's any other angels because I can't see with the lights, but I'd like to present you with a check for $1,000.
Hello, my name is Chief Wiggins with the Homestead Police Explorers, and on behalf of the Police Explorer program, I'd like to thank the Little Angels Foundation and Judy Waldman for presenting us with this check for $1,000, and just like to say that we look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Detective Deeg, and I'm the Chief Advisor for the Police Explorers. I just stand in the background, and I'm their guidance counselor, basically, but they do all the work, and they really appreciate it, and I'm sure they'll have a good time with whatever they decide to do with their money.
Just let me tell you, these folks have seen me in the worst of worst conditions, haven't you? Hanging off of scaffolds and lifting me up to tie balloons, and I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do without this one. He's so tall. I really need him to give me that little boost when I need to get up there and tie the balloons on and do things. So they're just wonderful. They've worked with Claire and Ed in many events, and we just want to say thank you so much. I love you, and there's more of that to come. So thank you. See, they kiss me when it's not formal. Yeah, let's see if we can get a little picture. Get everybody check. Next I'd like to invite Eric Tolberg and Tom Burton to come forward. Now, Eric and Tom, they're my cheerleaders. And I love them dearly. They were so instrumental in putting together our first 42-mile bike ride on our Park to Park. And I'd like for them just to take a few minutes and talk.
My name's Tom Burton with the Everglades Bicycle Club, and I became interested in the Greenway project approximately 3 years ago and helped participate in the planning of the route. And I think last fall we were having a meeting at South Florida Water Management District, and then someone said, well, we already have a Greenway. We need to get a phone number, a desk, and an office, and somebody to answer that phone and say, Biscayne Everglades Greenway. And before you know it, we'll have a Greenway. Well, we have a shirt. I'm wearing it right now. And at that time I thought, well, let's have a ride on the Biscayne Everglades Greenway, since it exists right now. Although it's not improved like we'd like it, and we're working on that right now. And we had 40 riders for the first ride. It had to be a fat tire ride because skinny tires can't go along the canals easily. It's quite rough, as many of the riders found out, even when you have a fat tire mountain bike for the ride. And as Dade County is not right now, Miami-Dade County, we have less than 200 miles of paved paths and lanes with approximately 2.5 million people, whereas in Denver, Colorado, a similar-sized metropolitan area, has 600 miles of paved paths and lanes. And Eric and I want to try to improve on that, turn that around. We'd like to see more paved paths and lanes around the county. And the ride was a success with Robert is here donating fruit, and Charles from the Everglades Alligator Farm helping out with SAG, which stands for Support and Gear, and also Global Supply was nice enough to donate water, and thanks to Councilwoman Waldman, and also Accelerate Drink Products donated drink for the ride. And Everglades Bicycle Clubs donated $2,000 for signage along the Greenway, and South Florida National Parks Trust has donated $10,000 for signage along the Greenway. And Eric's been hard at work on that. He's very good at details, and we'll tell you about the signage along the Greenway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Eric Tolberg, and if you look in your package, I've given you a list on the Biscayne Everglades Greenway. It shows both the Maori route, which goes through the center of Homestead, and the southern route, which goes through parts of Homestead and also through the center of Florida City. Altogether, it's 40 miles. The reason the ride was 43 miles is because there's 3/4 of a mile at each end between the park boundary and the visitor center. At the bottom of the sheet, you'll see a short thing on Greenway benefits, and these are just a few of the things that make Greenways important. They improve the community, they provide recreation, they provide green transportation, provide exercise to people, and as you know, obesity is a growing problem. They provide green tourism. In fact, they looked at the whole Redlands area as a potential area for a green tourism-based community. Safe routes to school are important, and the Greenway can be used to assist people in getting to school. On property values, the National Association of Realtors did a study, and they found out that 60% of people mentioned paths and trails as the most important amenity, more than any other including golf courses and things like that. That's what people want. It's important to get out of traffic and get on the path. Cyclist and pedestrian safety is also improved, and you can think of it as a linear park going from the city of Homestead to each of our 2 national parks. And there's a few things that you can do. If you can support Judy Woolman in all her efforts to get federal and state funds for the Greenway. Tom mentioned the signage program. We are trying to have signs put up at certain positions, and you'll see some of the marks on the associated map. That's some of the locations where signs would be installed. We would like the city of Homestead to support a monument sign, with flowers and a map at a strategic location along the route, probably at Maury Drive and Northeast and the busway, right in the center of Homestead. Also, if you support zoning and land use changes along the route, so encourage people to allow room for a path on Maury Drive. This would greatly enhance not only the city but also the individual homeowners. They would have a means of transportation and amenity right in their front yard. And there's another thing you can do is ask for the Parks and Recreation Department to accelerate the implementation of Biscayne Trails Sections C and D, which form important parts of the Greenway. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Stay with me here. One thing I want to make sure that everyone understands, in the early 70s, and Eric's an expert on this, in the early 70s, Dade County started a trailway, greenway, not greenway, just a trails and pathway in Dade County. This project was never included in that. This is completely new. This is something that we started in 2002, Dan Kimball and I, and went to the county, asked them to embrace us, went to the state, went to the D.C., and asked them to look at us, just to look at us at that time. And now we're ranked one of 3 in priority in the state of Florida and one of 18 in the Department of Interior. So we've come a long way. And let me tell you, these guys have been right there by my side, and I appreciate it. And I want to give you something tonight. This is a certificate of appreciation, one to Tom, and they both say the same thing, Tom and Eric, in recognition of your dedication to the Biscayne Everglades Greenway project and your efforts in organizing the successful inaugural bike ride held February 2nd, 2008. And at that bike ride, it was so amazing. I mean, Congressman Ballard was there. We had Mayor Alvarez's office, Chris, and all his people were there. Dade County Parks and Recs were there. Thank you, Ms. Lobos, for coming. I appreciate that. And it was just amazing. I mean, we had over 100 people there to cheer us on, and there were 200 to 300 bike riders that were in the vicinity that were just giving us all the, the high signs, and they wanted to be on that ride too, but because it was a fat tire ride, we couldn't do it. So out there that day, I would say there were over 400 bike riders out there in the vicinity, and it was just a thrill to have their support and know. And if you look on the back of Tom's shirt, it says, "We believe," and that's what we're going to keep on doing. We believe. So I want to give you these plaques of recognition, and I want to say thank you. And I know much of this is foreign to some of the new council members, but we're going to have a PowerPoint. We had a 3-hour meeting the other day, and we're going to have a PowerPoint presentation from Fred Hurling, and he's going to show you the master plan and the signage program, and it's going to be fabulous. So, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe over here. I'll hold the map. That was close. I have to go. Hold your plaque up there. Now I'll hold the map. There you go. It's upside down. We're often upside down. We're done. Your right set up on my eyes, so.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Waldman. Item 6, the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the February 19th council.
I'll second. I'll move.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you very much. Item 7, public hearings.
Yes, please be advised the following items on the agenda are quasi-judicial in nature. If you wish to comment upon these items, please indicate the item number you would like to address when the announcement regarding the quasi-judicial item is made. An opportunity for persons to speak on each item will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on each item. Swearing in. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you do not wish to either be cross-examined or sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the council to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. The full agenda packet on each item is hereby entered into the record. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization, and further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. In accordance with Code Section 2-591, any lobbyist must register before addressing the council on any of the following items. At this time, council members must disclose any ex parte communications concerning any items on the agenda this evening.
Yes, I need to disclose that I have on 7C, I've spoke with the council that's representing the party of San Remo Homes, Ms. Batiste, in the past.
Yes, Mr. Weiss, I'm sorry. Mr. White, I would like to disclose that on tab 8, I requested the opinion of some community members.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mayor. David, I'm not sure if I need to disclose this or not, but I did attend a citizens meeting regarding the building that's on the agenda tonight. I think it's the park. I don't know what's on there tonight, but the 18th Street, 19th Street property.
It's not on the agenda tonight.
It's not on the agenda? Oh, I saw Mr. Cordano right there. So
That might have been from a prior agenda.
Okay. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure I was okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
I should disclose that I also spoke with residents in my community in reference to tab 8.
Thank you. Mr. White.
Hearing none, at this time the clerk will swear in any persons who wish to testify on any quasi-judicial item.
Please stand and raise your right hand. I state your name. Hereby swear or affirm that the information I present shall be the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Thank you.
Tab 2, 7A has been deferred to April 7th. Moving on to Tab 3, second reading. It's an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, considering the request of Portobello Estates, LLC, for a rezoning from General Use District G to Townhouse District RTH for property located on Southwest 320th Street, west of Southwest 160th Avenue, to southeast of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing for an effective date. This is second reading.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. We'll now open the public hearing. Ms. Kamali, staff report.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and member of council. This is the second reading for a rezoning of 9.2-acre property that is on Maury Drive between 152nd and 162nd. I'm sorry. This project is surrounded on the east and north on south by residential, on the west but low density commercial. It has been revised on the ordinance on the last paragraph that this is a medium density with 8 number of units maximum. So if you need additional information, please let me know.
Thank you very much. Would the applicant like to present its case, or want to wait for council? Go right ahead, Ms. Helms.
Good evening, Mayor, members of council. Jen Helms, 10 Northeast 3rd Avenue for the applicant. Unless you have any questions, I think we dealt with a lot of the issues during first reading, so we'll just, if you have any questions, please let us know.
Thank you. Any questions or comments from council?
Not at this time.
I think we had a very thorough discussion on first reading. Yeah. And just so there's clarification for yes, Mr. Shahada?
Mayor, council members, just for clarification purposes, this was, like Sherry said, capped at 8, so it will be 73 units for the entire site, and this is exempt from the moratorium ordinance.
Thank you so much. Well, pardon? Yes, if everybody would take a look around the chambers, you'll see you have TVs up so that you can see the actual item that we're referring to. Thank you, Mr. Shahada, for that. It's a fabulous idea.
You're welcome.
Very good. Yes, is there anybody from the audience that would like to speak either in support of or against this applicant? Thank you so much. We'll now close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
No.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Moving on to tab 4, the next item on your agenda is the second reading of an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of San Remo Homes at Florida City LLC for a rezoning from Agricultural Use District AU to Townhouse District RTH, and further granting site plan and tentative plat approval for a residential development consisting of 255 townhouse units, as legally described in Exhibit A, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you so much. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move it.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll now open the public hearing. Staff report. Yes, Mr.
Madam Mayor, previously, just for clarification purposes, previously this item had come to you on first reading. You all had approved the rezoning on this for a maximum of, I believe, 7.5 units per acre. You approved the rezoning, and then the subsequent site plan and T-plat was denied as inconsistent with the rezoning. You all granted a motion to reconsider the second reading on all of this. So if we could, we need to bifurcate the rezoning and the site plan and the T-plat separately on these, because you'll need to make a motion and approve whatever motion it is on the rezoning, and that would indicate and give us direction on what we need to do with the site plan or the T-plat.
Certainly, we should probably have the motion for rezoning first.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion for the appropriate rezoning. And we rezoned it at 8 units, I believe, to the acre, didn't we?
We never got to that. That's what we're trying to do tonight.
I'll move it, Mayor.
I thought we did. I second. Are you sure we didn't approve this at 8 units
Yes,
to the acre?
I do have the dates for you, Madam Mayor. It went to the first reading October 15th. On November 19th, got deferred to December 3rd. December 3rd got denied. Then on January 22nd, we got the motion to reconsider. So this is the second reading.
Okay.
Okay.
We had discussion on the motion to reconsider for 8 units, but we actually never took the vote on the 8 units.
right.
Gotcha. Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded. Comments or questions from council?
No.
Any comments or questions from the public? This is on the rezoning. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
No.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes. Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And Mayor, just for clarification, that was the rezoning for 8 units per acre.
Correct.
Right.
And now you want the site plan.
And the site plan and the T-plan, I would make a recommendation at this point. The applicant has requested deferral in the site plan and T-plan, so that it would give them an opportunity to go back and amend their site plan and T-plan to be consistent with the rezoning that you just approved.
Do we need to defer to a time?
We don't have a date certain at this point. We could just re-advertise it and bring it back to you.
Thank you. Do we need a motion to that effect?
Yes, you would.
I'll entertain a motion for deferral.
I have a question, just so I understand correctly. The site plan that they have now does not meet the 8 units per acre? Is that correct?
That's right.
Correct.
Okay. I'll move it, Mayor.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? Comments or questions from the audience? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
This is on the deferral. Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman? Yes. Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to tab 5. Tab 5 is a final order of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting a certificate of use to allow the operation of a restaurant with on-premises sale and consumption of beer and wine located at 650 Northeast 22nd Terrace, Suites 112, 114, and 116 in the Portofino Plaza, just south of Campbell Drive, further granting a waiver of the location requirements for the sale of beer and wine as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
I'll move it, Mayor. I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll now open the public hearing. This is the Atlanta Bread Company, just for, if anybody's interested, this is the Atlanta Bread Company. Is there any presentation from staff on this item? I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
If you want, I can go over it. It's a 3,800 square feet restaurant. Is Atlanta Bread Factory. Is right behind the chili, and because it's within the 400 feet of the school, we need to ask for a waiver of distance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Council?
Been there.
Any comments or questions from council?
I'm just a little surprised Atlanta Bread wants to sell beer and wine.
I know.
That's all I have to say.
Do you have a problem with that?
Not at all.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Any comments or questions from the audience? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on, tab 6, the resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting final plat approval for Tropical Villas located east of Southwest 162nd Avenue, Farm Life School Road, south of Canal, approximately 500 feet north of Southwest 320th Street, Maury Drive, and northwest of the Homestead extension of the Florida Turnpike, as legally described in Exhibit A, consisting of approximately 6.45 acres and providing for an effective date.
I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I'll move it.
No second. It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll open the public hearing now. Staff?
Yes, this is a final plat for Tropical Villa. Is a 6.45 acre for 30 single-family house, and it was approved and through the site plan review, and they have approval on the T-plat from the county, and this is for the final plat approval.
Thank you. What I like about it, too, is it's 4.65 units to the acre, and they say it can't be done to make it economically feasible. Obviously, it can be done. Thank you. Any comments or questions from the applicant? Any comments from the applicant?
My name's Omar Armenteros. I'm here representing Sarima Homes, Inc. Marco Ragnoli is here in the audience. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Comments or questions from council?
No.
Close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Tab 7, item F was deferred to April 7th. Moving on to tab 8. Tab 8, item G is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the request of Borges Supermarket for approval of a mural sign to be placed on the upper left corner of the southern face of the existing structure located at 625 Washington Avenue, just south of 312th Street, as legally described in Exhibit A and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion for approval. I'll move it.
Move it with question.
It's been properly moved and seconded. I will now open the public hearing. Staff report on this item.
Pursuant to Section 23-76, all mural are to be reviewed as a public art. This is you can see it on the TV screens. This is a picture that I guess it says roof of the project, and it's going to be on the south side of the wall of the Burgess. It says United Community and Inspiration in Spanish. It's going to be 44 by 10 feet on the south side of the wall on the building.
Ms. Kamali, it says it's part of a national beautification program called Pollo Teco Races? Is it?
I think that stands for Roof of Project.
Project Roots, yes.
Project
Yes,
Roots.
okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Would the applicant like to present its case?
Good evening, my name is Freddy Porras. I'm representing Borgia Supermarket.
My name is Ricardo Felice, and I work for Freddy doing the design of the artwork.
And my name is Alex Poles, 625 Washington Avenue, representing Borgia Supermarket. We couldn't say no to Western Union when they come and say, hey, we have this project, and it's beautiful. We've already done it in a couple of cities, big cities in the United States, which is LA, Chicago, and we reviewed it. It was beautiful. We felt moved by it, and then we went ahead and applied to you guys, and we're just hoping for an approval to put it up.
Thank you very much. You may want to stay close in case there's any questions from council. Any comments or questions from council? Mr. Burgess, I think you are.
Well, I'm all for the beautification of the city there with mural and all. I was just in talking about it, I was just wondering if you could give me the exact size of relativity of the Western Union and how much it takes up of the sign.
Yes, we have.
I have a small layout.
That's how big the sign is, but it doesn't tell you how big the Western
Yeah,
Union is.
actually, if you
It says Western Union on the bottom.
if you look on the upper left-hand side, right to the right of the drawing to the left, that's basically where the Western Union would be represented.
So it's maybe, the letters are maybe a foot?
It's 10 feet tall.
Well, I understand, yeah, but the Western Union emblem and their name is embedded upon the drawing, correct?
Correct.
So I was trying to figure out how big.
I don't have the exact size, but just eyeing it, it looks like it could be a foot or so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you have to name 2 times. It has on the picture it's very small on the top side. You can barely see it because of it's so colorful. And at the bottom it just says that it's donated by Western Union.
John, this is it right
Thank you. Comments or questions from council?
I have a question, Mayor.
Ms. Waldman?
Thank you, Mayor. It's 540 square feet, correct? 540 square feet?
Yes.
Okay, nobody would ask here. And would that cover the entire, I know the pictures in our, it's just going to be over the top, it's not going to be the entire?
That is actually, the picture is right there. You can see that's the south wall, and that's where it's going to go.
This is depicting Mexican culture, correct?
It's a mixture of Latin American culture.
Latin American culture, okay. I think it's beautiful, but I have some concerns, and my concerns are that I know when we did the mural on the Seminole Theater, everybody was all for it when we first did it, and then they weren't, and Mike, you were with us in that period of time, and Dan, you remember, it's been, that was really difficult, and I just question, if we approve one, will there be others, will there be other cultures that want to put up a sign of this size? And I'm compounding my question, but I know that it's made of very good plastic, and but does it get replaced every so often? I mean, what happens when it starts to age? Because everything does age in time. How does that? Is that Western Union's problem, or?
Yeah, well, basically this is a different technique. It's not going to be painting on the wall. It's actually like a technique where they put it, it's like a plastic thing that is going to be pasted. So if at some point it gets damaged, it will be a matter of taking that portion out and then put it again. And Western Union, part of, when we talk to the artists, part of the contract with the artist was that if at some point it gets damaged, Western Union and Borges will fix it up right away. Because, this is an effort that we did, we're doing in LA and we already did in Chicago and in Dallas. And the idea is to, have, it's the artists, it's us as the agency, Western Union, we got the funding, and the idea is to show, show to different, regions in the U.S. and say, listen, we want to do this to do something different. Ideally, the idea was, not to do any advertising or anything like that. The idea was to do something, positive and uplifting.
I understand. I have another question to staff probably. Were the businesses, the surrounding businesses, did you talk to them in person? I mean, did you ask them if they had any opposition? Because this is right there.
It has been advertised. We haven't got any negative input from anybody.
Would you say advertised in the paper? Advertised?
Yes.
But nobody's contacted them?
We don't have any more.
No. Your code provision pertaining to wall murals doesn't require notice like a rezoning or a site plan of that nature. So to that effect, those notices, no, have not been sent out on this particular project or proposal.
Okay. Well, I would feel better having contacted, especially the owners who own the property, rather than leasing the property nearby when they own the property, that,
Excuse me.
Have you?
Well, we are the owners of the building.
I know. I'm talking about the surroundings.
The surroundings, well, the next property to us is the clinic, the clinic. I went and spoke to the owner. I presented the project to him.
Did you?
And yes, guaranteed.
You talked to Rob?
I spoke to him. I actually gave him a copy of the whole project, and he said, as long as it doesn't get dirty, there's no problem with me. So those were his words.
Okay, that makes me feel better. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mayor Bell, I have a question. Is the artist present?
New York.
No, the artist is in Dallas. He's going to come here at the time of the installation.
Oh, okay, so I can make my comments on the art then.
Do you like it?
As if you wouldn't anyway. I read the guidelines of the project and what its purpose is, and I think it's great. I saw the examples of what was done in other cities, and especially one where it showed the past leaders, present leaders, and kind of like that whole inspirational site, and I thought it was great. Then I got to the actual mural that's going up, and the reason why I had asked a couple of opinions was because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't being oversensitive to some of the things depicted in the mural. And I think as a Hispanic woman, I see the intent. I saw what the sunflower meant. I saw the children. And on the left side of the mural, it captured everything that the project stood for. And then you get to the right corner.
I can see this right corner.
And when you get to the right corner, I couldn't help but see that the women in this mural have a little bit of a sexual connotation to it. And I was disappointed at that point, because the men are not depicted. The men are in suits. And so I just kind of thought to ask the artist, what was the purpose? We're trying to uplift our heritage. We're trying to represent our culture, and we depict something that is so stereotypical of our community. And so this mural doesn't look that bad. It's right here, 8.5 by 11, and you see the strip right here. But I'm just imagining it at the site, at the size that it's going to be on that building. And those little overtones, sexual connotations are going to come across very strongly once you put it in that size. So my objection is not to the project, it's not to the it's not to the intent, it's not for the purpose, it's for the actual depiction of this art. I just don't think that on the right corner you kind of lose its intention.
Well, if the council decides, that we can move forward, we definitely can go back to the artist and we can tweak anything within the artwork. I think part of our goal today was for you guys to give us the feedback so we can go back to the artist and say, we need to change this, and, everybody will feel comfortable and the community will, feel better. But you have to show me which one exactly is so.
I have to show you.
I too, if I may, Mayor Bell, when I noticed the black and white rendition, it does not have the same sexual overtones as the colored rendition did, and that's when I took it to some of my neighbors. Not being 100% familiar with some of the Mexican or Central American cultures, I didn't know if some of these gods looked this way, and I actually did a little bit of research, and they don't necessarily look this way. And it's not just on the right, it's also right smack in the center, where there's the other lady in the middle, which has the same exact impression and the same exact look. I don't know people that have curls in their hair so perfectly proportioned in the right exact spot, so I think that I too feel very comfortable.
Yeah, I understand. I think it's more the artist, you know.
Right, but in the black and white, it wasn't there. In the black and white sketch, those items were not there. And when I showed it to neighbors, and immediately the women all noticed it, and they felt uncomfortable. And seeing it in a small setting, okay, but when you see it where it's going to be, it's going to be very obvious, and it might be something we want to reconsider. Yeah.
I have a question. I'd like to approve the idea of a mural, but make them come back to us, because I actually have some other concerns about this as well, and I do notice the overwhelming Aztec, overtones to it, but there's a couple of other issues, and quite frankly, Homestead is extremely, extremely diverse, but this has really done some major stereotyping in it. I think we need to be very cautious about that. So, and I picked up on a couple of different things on it. So, James, can we approve the idea of this mural without approving this actual design?
No, the application that's before you now is for this particular mural sign, this particular public art sign. I think the applicant has taken your comments and you all agree to the concept, perhaps, but perhaps not to this particular sign. If the applicant is willing, you all can defer action on this item, which would give the applicant time to come back with something revised for staff to evaluate and come back before you for approval.
I think that's preferable rather than deny it. I think we should defer it and then bring us back something that will be more palatable to this group.
Definitely, and I would like to, what will be the procedures of the process? Do you give us, how will we getting your feedback? Do we have to reach back to the city, and you will provide the feedback to the city?
Yeah, what you can do is, and we can meet afterwards for 5 minutes and schedule meetings with each and every one of us individually. And so I'll discuss that with you for just, if you'll hang around for a few minutes after the meeting, we'll talk. Or you can discuss it with any of the staff. Thank you.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Shahada?
Thank you. Mayor, council members, I was just going to suggest the same thing to, make sure everybody's dressed in the picture, but, we coordinate with them also.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to defer.
I move to defer it.
I second it.
The motion to defer has been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carried. Thank you. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Thank you for being such great sports.
Moving on to tab 9, your last agenda under quasi is a resolution of the City of Homestead, Florida, granting the second request of Homestead Gardens LLC for a 6-month extension to a previously approved site plan for Homestead Gardens located south of Northeast 11th Street and east of Northeast 6th Avenue, as legally described in Exhibit A, an approximately 2.13-acre site consisting of 21 townhouse dwelling units and providing for an effective date.
Move it, Mayor.
It's been properly moved and seconded. I'll now open the public hearing. Any staff report on this item?
No, Madam Mayor, it's just extension to the second extension to approved site plan.
I would like to hear from the applicant to the reasons behind this. Thank you.
Oops, sorry about that. My name is Aaron Bassaby. I'm one of the partners of Homestead Gardens LLC, and I was here previously. We've been having problems just we need to make a connection to a force main because we are required to install a private lift station, and we were dealing with the owner across the street from us at some rental apartments, and we've been on and off. We reached an agreement, but then the guy disappeared, so finally we we're going to go ahead and do our own force main and donate it to the city, but, we're going through the process with Durham, and it takes time, so that's the reason for the delays.
So it's still dealing with Durham?
It's just Durham. I mean, we have already paving and drainage, and the plants are pretty much approved, I will say 90%. All we need is a blessing from, and not the blessing, I mean, Durham have already seen the plants, they just need the point of connection, and since the line that we were going to connect to was not the city's, we needed an agreement, with this owner, and it's just have been impossible to reach an agreement. I mean, we had an agreement, but like I said, time is of the essence, and the owner disappears on us. I mean, he's got to talk to partners or what have you, and then we finally had it, and we said, we're going to proceed installing our own force main. And we already discussed with the Robert Landon, as to the procedure, so that's the route we're going to go with it. So.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from council for this applicant? First, Mr. Shahada.
Mayor, council members, I just want to make it very clear, this is the final extension for this property.
We're all aware of that. So.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Shahada. Any comments or questions from council?
Not at this time.
Thank you very much. Any comments or questions from any member of the audience? I'll now close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. That concludes the quasi-judicial items. Legislative?
Thank you, Mayor. First item is item AI, a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city code by amending Division 3, Cost Recovery of Article 9, Finance of Chapter 2, Administration, by revising procedures and creating advanced deposit requirements related to cost recovery, providing for interest charge and enforcement, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, providing for an effective date.
I'll move it. I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? Any staff report on that, Mr. Shahada? I think we've discussed it.
Mayor and Council, this was an existing ordinance, and with the help of David, we are changing the ordinance to practically put the city at no risk by having a deposit, and also ask for additional deposit if needed, and also adding the interest interest on the amount owed after the notice is given to the property owner to pay the city. And I think it's a month, and if you don't pay within 1 month, there is an assessed charge of 1.5 monthly.
Thank you.
It's a great protection for the city.
Thank you. Comments or questions from council?
No.
Thank you so much. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item is second reading, an ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, amending the city code by amending Chapter 28, Utilities, by amending Article 8, Electricity at Division 2, Deposits, Rates, and Charges, by amending Section 256, Street Lighting and Rental Outdoor Lighting Rates, to adjust a street lighting rate provision to accommodate a change in lighting wattage made by Miami-Dade County, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in code, providing for an effective date.
I'll move it. No second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. And any comments from council?
No.
Do we know about how much it's going to cost per light for, because I know over in our neighborhood we've got a lot of lights, as Northgate does too, and just somewhere down the road I'm sure somebody's going to ask me how much more is that going to cost. Do we have an average of about maybe $2 a month more or anything like that?
Actually, this item is going to be practically the same cost like we had, similar items. The only thing is just to add the way the light looks. It's an open bottom light. That's the only change, and that's something requested by Dade County. They start this type of installation, so we're just accommodating them.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any comments or questions from the public? Close the public hearing. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Next item, second reading and ordinance of the City of Homestead, Florida, establishing the Tourism Advisory Committee by creating a new Division 2 Tourism Advisory Committee of Article 3, Boards, Committees, Commissions of Chapter 2, Administration of the City Code, providing for the qualification and appointment of members, establishing terms of office, providing for rules of procedure, providing for jurisdiction, providing for standards of conduct, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing an effective date.
Ms. Sierra, would you like to move that?
I would like to move it, yes.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? Any comments or questions from the public? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Waldman?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Burgess?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lobos?
Yes.
Councilman McCormick?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sierra?
Yes.
Councilman Nelson?
Yes.
Mayor Bell?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mayor, next item is a resolution section, item B1, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Homestead, Florida, waiving competitive bidding requirements and authorizing the payment for the support fees on the SunGuard HTE license programs for October 1, 2007 through September 30th, 2008 from SunGuard HTE Incorporated pursuant to City Code Section 2-411.1A7, providing for an effective date.
I'll move it.
I'll second.
It's been properly moved and seconded. Any comments or questions from council? Any comments, Mr. Shahada?
Just for the viewing audience and people in the sitting here, this is a software company we use in the police department, and also we use it in other city departments. The police started using it about 4 years ago, and this is to just maintain the software and provide all the upgrades to the software included in the price. And the other side parts of the city, we've been using them for more than 10 years now, and they do an outstanding job for us. So we recommend approval.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from the audience? I'll now close the public hearing. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you so much.
Mayor, the next resolution item has been deferred to April 7th, 2008. That concludes the resolution portion.
Thank you. We'll now open the floor for public comments.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. I just wanted to clarify the record for the San Remo Keys Lake application, which was item 7C on tonight's agenda. I wanted to just specify, I did speak with Councilman Burgess and all of the members of the council prior to the January hearing on the motion to reconsider. However, I have not had any discussions with council since that hearing and leading up to tonight's hearing. I just wanted to clarify that considering the sensitive nature of this application, I wanted to make sure that the record was clarified. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, there was some concern about, if it's ex parte, we already disclosed it once, we don't have to disclose it again, but there may have been some confusion on that, so thank you for clarifying that, Ms. Batiste. Thank you.
Mayor and Council, Ed Powell, 2274 Southeast 27th Drive. 3 items. I wanted to go back. You had the second reading ordinance I. You had no public comment, and that was basically the charge that was put on the utility bill being $1 for cost recovery. Now, I'm not sure about everybody else, but all the guys I play golf with all came to me and said, I'm not going to pay that $1. So I've had friends that have gone down to the poor people in utilities and have screamed and hollered that they're not going to pay this $1. So my point is a couple things. I paid it because I hear and I know what it's about. I'm just wondering how we get that message out to everybody else, and I don't remember that bill coming in or any description in that first bill saying what it was about. And my question is how long does it last Is that $1 going to be there in perpetuity? Is it 1 month's worth? I'm just curious what that dollar cost recovery is, and if we did a little better job of advertising what it is to the public.
Thank you, Mr. Powell. I know I got a notice in my bill. One came in my bill. Mr.
There was a notice?
Mayor, council members, this is what you just approved is not really related to that cost recovery. That's for hurricane cost recovery, $1 a month. This is for people who come for zoning applications. The city upfronts cost to use consultant, attorneys, and etc. So this is just really to protect the city from upfronting all these expenses. So this is not really the same cost recovery you're referring to.
Okay, as far as my question, is that, can I ask that question about that dollar?
You sure can. But the cost recovery he's referring to is a pass-through cost. It's just us recovering what's out of pocket for the city. The charge you're referring to is specifically referring to electric utilities. Mr. Shahada?
That's a cost recovery in the solid waste bill. If the one you're referring to, the $1. Your question is for how long it's going to stay. Again, last year, or 2 years ago, when we had the hurricanes, the solid waste division upfronted, I think, $2.6 million, Jan. We're looking at the $1 a month. We're talking about $120,000 roughly a year we could collect. And if we hopefully don't have hurricanes for a period of time, then if we build enough reserve to suspend the fee, we will definitely have to revise the ordinance and change it. But at this time, it's really at the we're taking baby steps to build that reserve.
I agree with it, and I think everybody else would. But you have to have it to be able to spend it, and all we're doing is trying to make preparation for a rainy day. But not everybody is here, and not everybody reads the paper, and not everybody is of the same mindset. So just maybe a little how we could tell people that in their bill. And maybe highlight it for one time, what it is.
Mr. Powell, your point is very well taken, and I think that obviously if you're coming up here and other people are approaching you, then we obviously do need to do a better job communicating to the public. So I think your point is very well taken, and I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Second item, Little Angels, we donated some money tonight. We also do make money so we can give money out to the various charities, etc. We've been working feverishly for 2 or 3 months for our Monte Carlo Casino Night, which is coming up March 15th. It's held at Keysgate Country Club. This is the 4th or 5th year we've done it. Michelle Torbett is the chairwoman of that. That does a great job. We can always use sponsors. We can always use little silent auction items. I've been out around the city trying to collect various goodies, etc. But we're going to have a Texas Hold'em. We probably have 2 tables worth now. $150 buy-in, $1,500 first place on our Texas Hold'em. $45 a ticket, includes a buffet, $10 in chip play, match chip play. Whatever you win, you can use to bid for silent auction items. Again, March 15th. I want to steal a little bit of Clara's thunder tonight. She opted to let me give you a little update. Chamber of Commerce, been a very busy month. Is it busier coming up? Portofino Office Plaza behind Chili's. You can use, if you've been in there, it's becoming very active. Atlanta Bread Company, Havana Joe's, Miyagi, AT&T. Well, they have come to us, to Clara, and asked that we put on a ribbon cutting. Well, it started with Atlanta Bread. It spread to Miyagi. Havana Joe's is in the process of joining. Then we have the developer, Prime Builders, who wants to wrap his arms around the whole project. So he has come to us with the same. So we're going to have on March the 13th, March 15th, same day as Little Angels, 4 p.m. We're going to start off with a grand ribbon cutting, and then we're going to go individual. And since Flagship Cinema is also a member of the chamber in there, I think we'll probably include them in that celebration. So come on out. That's going to be a lot of fun that day. The Military Affairs Committee meets Thursday this week. It's a monthly meeting. I'm trying to get active in that committee. And we have a network breakfast March 13th, 8 a.m. at CC's Pizza. That's our once-a-month network. Very well attended. Last time was at the Grove Inn. We had probably 50 people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Powell. Business from the city manager?
Mayor, council members, I don't really have any business. However, I like to ask Joanna to stand up and to introduce her. You all know Joanna, but some of the people here don't know Joanna, and also stay standing up. People also there's lots of people who really watch this in replays or live in the webcast. I have brother Bokaraton always watching it and sending me text messages. So it's just to know Joanna, to let them know who Joanna is. Joanna has been working with the city for about 15 years. She did an outstanding job, and you could reach her anytime with city issues, and you're all aware of the changes in the city hall, and we ask everybody to get involved and with the city manager's office to make
Give
this
us
a
her
better
title,
place.
Mr. Shahada.
What?
Give us her title, Mr. Shahada.
Oh, sorry. She will be the assistant city manager.
Thank you. Is that it?
That's it. Thank you.
Joanna, thank you welcome, and I'm sure you'll be delighted to work with all of us. No, we really do appreciate you, and I've worked with Joanna for 4 years, and I know her level of professionalism, and everything that Joanna has done, her performance has just been top-notch, and everything that I've seen. So, Mr. Shahada, I just affirm your choice for an assistant manager, and just thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Lobos?
Thank you, Mayor Bell. I'm going to start with an announcement. It's a free income tax preparation. It's ongoing at the Homestead Family YMCA. The IRS and the City of Homestead are providing this service to residents free of charge. Residents can have their federal income tax returns electronically filed, receive answers to their tax-related questions, and refunds can be direct deposited into their bank account within 7 days. The service is available at the Homestead Family YMCA until April 12th. Located on 8th Street, and then on Saturdays, actually it happens on Saturdays from noon to 4 p.m. Just for a point of clarification, in the past this was restricted to just residents with low income restrictions, but now it's open to everybody. So it doesn't matter how much money you're making, you can go to the YMCA and have your income tax free of charge, so long as your 1040 is not too complicated. If you come in with a whole bunch of questions and more than just simple itemized deductions, I think they're going to turn you away. If you have more information, please call our City of Homestead. Thank you. Relating to other matters, I just want to inform Mayor and Council and members of the audience that I had a meeting this past Thursday with our Enterprise Committee with Julio Brea, Mr. Mike Shahada, and some of the electricity, public works, wastewater, and all those different entities, and there's a lot of good ideas that I have. I'm sure some of them have already been presented in prior council years with prior council members, but I will be presenting that again. And I also just wanted to thank you. There's a lot of information, a lot of good information that I can bring forth to my fellow council members and the mayor. And so just to give you the heads up that I'm working on putting together a report, a thorough report with a lot of good information, not only for my fellow members, but also for the audience. And some of the ideas that I have are for recycling here in the city, which was not my idea. I did get that idea from an audience member. So I will be pursuing that, and I'm hoping that we can lead by example in the city. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilwoman Lobos. Councilman McCormick?
Thank you, Mayor Bill. The City of Homestead will have its annual Easter egg hunt. It'll take place on March 22nd from 9:30 to 1:30 p.m. at Harris Field. That's on 8th Street. We all know the location. You can pre-register now, and you can call area code 305-224-4580. The admission is $5 for each child, and the adult gets a free ticket, but for each additional adult, it's $5 per ticket. So I hope everyone bring their kids or grandkids out and enjoy that day. Also, I attended the first annual Law Enforcement Day at Pastor Jimmy Williams Church, and it was very touching in a sense because we honored one of our own. We see a lot of people being honored on TV, or a lot of police heads being honored on TV, but we honor one of our own, Officer Chief Rowe, and it was very touching for him to be honored on Sunday. Also on Saturday, I attended the opening day ceremony at Harris Field, and it was quite interesting to see how many kids were participating in the baseball out there, and I really
really liked that, and I want to thank Omar for doing a good job making sure that everything was smooth, everything was in place, and it was a very nice event to attend. And pertaining to the trailway with Councilwoman Wallman, I want to see if me and Omar can get together and see if we can do some things to assist you quickly. So I'll meet with Omar probably tomorrow or Wednesday to see if we can assist you, Councilwoman Wallman. That's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilman McCormick. Councilman Nelson?
Thank you. First thing I would like to do is ask for a motion to reconsider the Chrome Plaza rezoning.
Okay. The motion to reconsider is on the floor.
Mayor, the procedure we would recommend would be followed would be the same one that was followed in the San Remo matter, where at this point, Councilman Nelson would simply be requesting that a motion for reconsideration of that item would appear on the next council agenda. If that motion for reconsideration is approved at that time, then at the following meeting, it would be advertised for a public hearing and set for a public hearing. So it's basically a three-step process. I believe the first step has been taken now by Councilmember Nelson. So unless there's any objection, this item will appear as a motion for reconsideration on the next council agenda.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
We need a second and a vote on that.
I'll second. Mayor Bell, I do have a question. Just to be certain, we're reconsidering the rezoning of general to parking?
Yes. Right. It's merely, at this time, the vote would be only to place the motion for reconsideration on the next agenda. You would not be actually taking a reconsideration at this time. It's merely to place the item for reconsideration on the next agenda. If at that meeting the motion for reconsideration passes, then at a subsequent meeting the public hearing would be held.
Okay. Thank you very much. There's a motion to reconsider on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And there is a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you. To be placed on the next agenda item in the next meeting. Thank you very much, Councilman Nelson.
Okay, we have some more here. The police conducted a DUI task force on Kimball Drive 2 weeks ago. In 4 hours, they put through 598 cars.
Oh my!
And they didn't have it. It was a DUI awareness. It wasn't as many DUI arrests. They had just a couple arrests, a couple narcotic arrests, one narcotic arrest, and they towed 16 vehicles because people out there are driving without license, and it's a big deal. And the police force are really doing a big job on trying to cut this down in our city. Another thing is Councilman Sierra and I also went on the Ag Council tour. Very nice. We visited 3 nice places.
I learned how to pick a tomato. It was fun.
And we visited 3 very nice establishments in our city. Just to the west of our city, Snebley's Wine Vineyard. It was beautiful. Beautiful. Get out and look at it. It is, what they've done out there in the last year and a half is just amazing. The lakes, the cheeky huts. It is very beautiful. And I'd like to thank Maya's restaurant for having us out for the ribbon cutting a couple weeks ago. It was very nice. It went very smooth. Wish them the best of luck. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Nelson. Councilwoman Sierra.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd first like to mention a couple things. The Agri-Tour, and I'm so glad that you brought that up, Mr. Councilman Nelson. This was an absolutely incredible experience for me, and although my family had farms in Puerto Rico, I had never really been to such a vast amount of different types of locations and different type of farming. What a great experience that was for me. And when I said I learned how to pick a tomato, I always thought you just grabbed a tomato, but no, there is a trick. And Councilman Nelson actually taught me how to do this, and what a great experience for me to be a part of all of that. I'd like to mention that our first tourism meeting will take place on Thursday, April 3rd at 5:30 p.m. in the City Manager's Conference Room. I'd like to also mention that I'm very pleased, Ms. Heath, that the intern program with Homestead High School is moving in a positive fashion. I think it's so important for the students to have an opportunity to see other people at work and to see that there are different types of jobs that they can get out there and do, and I encourage Chambers to help me get more businesses that would be able to participate in this program. I have a couple of announcements. We need volunteers for the Challenge Day in Homestead Middle School on April 9th and 10th. I have a contact information. If anybody's interested in volunteering from 7:30 to 3:30 at any time during the day, it is the Southeast Florida Circle of Change, and they have partnered with the Non-Violence Project. Many of you know that recently there was another shooting at a school, and this is a very important program for us to get involved in. The website is www.challengeday.org, and we're looking for volunteers for Homestead Middle School. Also, I don't know if a couple weeks ago you guys saw an article in the paper on South Dade High School. The new principal, Miss Alicia Hidalgo, she actually graduated same high school I did, but a year before me. What is coming for South Dade High is absolutely amazing, and if you haven't heard yet, you really need to find out. South Dade is going to have academies covering different career paths, allowing kids to focus on specific areas such as medical, agricultural, and fine arts programs. Other programs are going to be focusing on is international education, finance, business, and information technology. This part of the school, and some of you may have seen it, will be opening up in April. And, last but not least, we do have Inspiring Our Youth. This is a program that's put together by the Mexican American Council in conjunction with MASA at the University of Florida, and they are going to be having a fundraising dinner on April 25th. We'll be having a short presentation in a coming council meeting. It is absolutely an amazing program where it really allows some of these students that have never had a chance to leave the area of Homestead to see what they can do with themselves and what colleges they can attend. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilwoman Waldman?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. I was going to report this at the last council meeting, but I unfortunately wasn't here due to a cold, but I do want to say that in February, it was February 10th, the 42nd Maintenance Group held its second annual award ceremony to recognize the maintenance professionals who ensure the airworthiness of the F-16 fighter jets assigned to Homestead Air Force Base. And I was very honored to be the guest speaker. I thought I was going to walk into about an audience of 40, and I walked into an audience of about 500. And it was just amazing because all of these people had recently been in Iraq, and our men and women, I mean, it was just amazing what I experienced that morning. Like I said, hundreds of people attended the ceremony that featured the appointment of dedicated crew chiefs, announced that Maintenance Professionals of the Year awards, and recognition of all maintainers and support personnel contributing to keeping the F-16 top performance. It was just so sweet to hear some of the stories of the people, men and women, that so eagerly just leave to serve our country, and they are so dedicated to the service and our freedom and protecting us, and it was just my honor and privilege to be able to be out there with them that particular day, and they've asked me to get more involved, and I am. But this is the elite group of highly respected men and women serving under the 42nd Maintenance Group, known as the MACO Maintainers. So I'm sure you'll probably hear more about them. They really touch my heart. And as I said to them in my talk to them, I said we certainly sleep better at night knowing that we have people like them protecting us night and day. So that was my honor. I attended a Northwest meeting on that particular motion that we just did to bring back for consideration regarding the parking lot on Chrome Avenue. So I did attend that, and I want to say congratulations to the people in the Northwest section. Mayor Bell was there with me, and there are a lot of people there, and I think that's wonderful. I think Jen Helms deserves a note of credit because she put it together, and they came out, and it was so civilized. They talked to the developer, and the developer listened, and they talked and talked and talked, and hopefully there'll be something that can come of that. I want to thank Miss Sierra because she called and said that she wanted to get involved with Relay for Life, and I said thank you, thank you, thank you, because we don't have an overall chair this year for Relay for Life for the entire event, so I'm serving as an liaison. I'm not going to let them call me the chairman. I'm not. But I am helping on the overall Relay for Life. And we didn't have a chairperson for the city, so I want to thank Joanna and Miss Sierra for stepping up to the plate. It was just wonderful. We had a great meeting. I facilitated that first meeting only, and we talked about some things, and I want to thank Mike Shahada for coming to the meeting, making that effort to get there, and he also pledged his support to make sure that we have at least 3 or 4 teams from the city. So I think that's going to be wonderful. I'm sure Joanna and Ms. Sierra will be reporting on our city teams. I now am on about 6 teams, but that's okay. And come and get our bake sale goods. Sheila, when's our next bake sale?
Thursday.
Every Thursday till April. Okay, that means I have to bake again. All right. Last year we did it every other week. So, all right. So, come to City Hall Thursdays and Fridays. We have baked goods available at the clerk's office. The last thing I want to talk about, and this is a sad thing to talk about, is the recent shootings in Missouri of the council. I think 5 members were killed. And I just think that, that I've talked about it for a long time. We finally were able to get a police officer in the back. We used to say, well, we had the chief sitting right here, but the chief is facing us and no one knows what's going on in the back. So we have our wonderful police officers that do sit in the back, but we don't even have a sign-in sheet, I don't think. I mean, we don't know who is even in this audience. So I know the cities of North Miami Beach, they've gone so far as they're searching people as they come in the doors of the chamber. Bal Harbor, they're putting in a metal detector. I just think that we need to start thinking about that a little more. And I know Mr. Shahana and I talked about it briefly late this afternoon, and I feel so sorry for people, because we are servants. We are servants of the community, and you never know. You just never know what might happen, and that's a terrible thing to have to say, and it's a terrible way to think, but it's a very truthful way to think these days. So, Chief Roll and Mr. Nelson, I really would appreciate it, Mayor, if we could just look into it and do what we can to protect everyone that attends our council meetings.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilwoman Wobben.
I think Chief has something to say there.
I will say, the city manager already discussed it with me, and we're already looking into it as you speak, so thank you.
We actually had a conversation as well, so I guess
it's very much on our minds.
Yeah, we just had a brief conversation.
Thank you.
Vice Mayor?
Good evening to everybody. First thing I'd like to do, I guess, is I need to try to move forward with the beautification committee, and what I need to do is see if I can get a second from council or a motion in a second to see if we can form a committee and then get the attorneys to draw up the proper ordinance to move it forward.
I don't think you need a motion to get a committee organized. We would just need a motion for the ordinance.
Yeah.
Correct? We don't even. Yeah.
But I need to get it seconded to get you in motion, correct?
I'll second it. It's a motion for us to prepare an ordinance.
Right.
Okay. So has it been moved?
That's what you told me earlier.
I'll move it.
I'll second. Yeah. No, we've never done that before. Okay, thank you. You just need a consensus.
Correct.
You have it.
Okay. The second thing I wanted to do was I wanted to announce that the Central Campesino and the Human Relations Board of Florida City and Homestead are going to put together a predatory lending and surviving the foreclosure epidemic workshop for anybody in town that may be facing such a terrible thing. This is going to take place on March 27th down at Florida City in their City Hall Commission chambers between 7 and 9 p.m. And I think it's a great thing, and there's going to be a lot of experts or counselors on hand to help anybody that may be in need of some guidance or a little bit of knowledge on how to come about this and keep their home from being foreclosed. So that's going to be a great thing, I think, that could help a lot of people in this area as I see foreclosures going up. So I don't know if we can put it as a link or mention it on the website somehow, but if we could do that, I think that would be great.
IT.
Consider it done.
Yeah. And then I also attended the Little League out at opening day ceremony on Saturday, and I guess next year I'll get to be a father out there doing it, so I know what all the dads were going through. So anyway, looking forward to that, and they had quite a turnout with a lot of excitement. It's good to see all the kids out there having fun and partaking of such a great time. So anyway, that's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. First item on my business, I have a board committee appointment. I have another one person on the Education Committee, Jenny Van Zant. I'll entertain a motion for approval. I'll move it. I'll second. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you. Item 2, Historic Preservation Board, Luis Avilla.
I'll move it.
I'll second. It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you. I'd like to take the Tourism Committee as a whole. We have quite a few members there. I'd like to take the Tourism Committee as one package. All in favor, entertain a motion for that?
I'll move it.
I'll second. It's been properly moved and seconded. We have Jorge Acevedo, Margie Buster, Romanita Ford, Yvonne Knowles, Paul Mulhern, Susan Newman, Lisa Pindera, Cheryl Quinlan, Natalie Salas, David Suarez, and Melody Tyler. All in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry.
I'm sorry, Mayor, there are 2 additional as well.
Oh, that's right. We did. Thank you so much. Would you give us those names?
Ed Powell and Jen Helms.
Ed, you need more work to do. With those additional 2 names, all in favor say aye. Aye. And the ayes carry. Thank you so much. Also, I would like to announce at this time that we have a vacancy with the Tourism Committee. We actually have 4 vacancies. Well, now we have 2 vacancies on the Tourism Committee. So that announcement has been made. Thank you so much. Also, the city will be holding its next Citizens Academy starting on March the 26th, and the city will once again team up with Florida International University to offer this free government education course to its residents. The classes are taught by professors and moderators from FIU and staff, and classes will be held every single Wednesday for 7 weeks, and there are still spots available. So if you have any questions or you're interested in attending the next academy, please call 224-4485, and it is really very, 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 very valuable. You would not regret it. We've had, the manager and I have had some discussion on this, and Mr. Manager, I would like for us to go and begin an intent to negotiate on the bowling alley, to go ahead and put that out to bid as an intent to negotiate. And I wanted to also ensure the public that Mr. Shahada, Ms. Kamali, and I think along with Julio Brea, are working on the left-hand turn out of Chili's. It seems like it's the never-ending project. I mean, I think we brought this to council probably 18 months or so ago, and so we saw progress going, and I think all of us on council got excited because we saw progress, and I made an inquiry, and I think Ms. Lobos made an inquiry, and what we discovered is that there's a left-hand turn in, but not a left-hand turn out. So certainly, we are going to work on that and ensure that we can do that. And you know, if you look at where they're putting the left-hand turn to come in, if they would just move it down just a little bit, then we could have a light there, and it would be far enough away from the current light without interfering with the turnpike, we could have a left-hand turn out. So somehow we are going to work on this, and we're going to make this happen. Right, Mr. Shahada?
We will definitely try our best.
This is crazy. So anyway, just to let the public know that is something that we are absolutely working on. All of council is very, very well aware of this, and we all hear it. We feel your pain, and we hear that. Also, the discussion's been on the Little League openings. I attended 2. We had a Little League opening at J.D. Red as well as at Harris Field. And what they didn't tell you is that we got to throw out the first pitch. So we won't talk about that, though, I don't think. So I don't think anybody embarrassed themselves too badly. I had a meeting last week with the assistant to Rudy Crew, Alberto Carvajalo, and we are working together on a compact, and Ms. Sierra will make sure that the compact, after we're finished working on it, goes to the Education Committee for its approval before it comes back to council. They'll make sure it goes to you. It was a good meeting. We talked about issues that were very specific to Homestead, and I must admit that I did have some concerns on entering a compact with the school system because I wanted to make sure it wasn't an undue burden on the city, but it's quite the contrary. It's going to be a compact where it's going to be very I think very, very favorable to the city of Homestead as well as many other things. So it was a good meeting. Also, congratulations to Mr. Kirk for being named the Agriculturist of the Year on behalf of the Chamber of Commerce. It was a wonderful, wonderful event, and also Wendy and I attended the Woman of Distinction in Agriculture as well, and that was at Schnebly's Winery, and that's where we saw the beautiful, beautiful changes that they've made to the winery. So congratulations to Medora Chrome, as well as congratulations to Mr. Kirk. These are people of excellence in agriculture. Also, I attended the Beacon Council dinner because our local hospital, Homestead Hospital, was honored for its excellence in the hospital community by the Beacon Council. So I was delighted to attend on behalf of the city of Homestead. Mr. McCormick already mentioned that the two chiefs were honored, Chief Taylor of Florida City as well as our own Chief Roll, and I attended as well. So also last week I attended a luncheon honoring the Mexican ambassador who was here in Homestead visiting, so went to that luncheon and it was very, very nice. And I think quite a few of us on council really, really enjoyed. The Human Relations Board brought in Lieutenant Colonel Eldridge Williams. He is one of the original Tuskegee airmen, and he spoke right here in the chambers. And thank you for Rosemary Fuller for bringing him in. And he was just absolutely excellent. This is the second time I've heard him speak, and he is absolutely fantastic. And so we've been very, very busy. And one of the last items I'm going to bring up, and Lillian is going to gasp, but she's going to say, don't ever do this. Right, last year sometime, we changed many things. We changed our city's logo. Some call it the city seal on the logo. And what you see back here is the new logo. And while it's very beautiful, and I've always thought, I think the new logo is beautiful and it's clean, I had made a request and it was denied, and I had asked that we keep the Air Force jet in it, and it was denied. Okay, so it didn't happen. I know that we've expended quite a bit of money on different decals for cars and everything. And what I would ask, and we did leave the agriculture portion by having the rows in there. So while we didn't have the tractor, we still have the ag in there by the row crops, but we don't have representation from the Air Force Base. And I've been a very active member of the Military Affairs Committee for 4 years, and have been very delighted to be so supportive of our military. And I don't think there's been a deployment or a welcome home ceremony or a dinner or some type of an honor that I haven't attended when invited in my entire 4 years. So I really would like to see that we put the jet back on our logo. Now, what I'm asking is not that we change everything now, but as we make the new decaling for the cars, and as we create that, and as we create new shirts and new clothing, that would be phased in or eased in, so it wouldn't be an expense to the city. But I really feel very strongly, and I hope this council will support me on that, and I'm not asked because it's not going to be an expenditure. And I say right back here, we can simply have a beautiful little F-16 jet, black jet decal. We can just put it right over there. Nobody out here will ever know the difference. So I just hope this council will support me on that. I feel very strongly about that.
Mayor Val, just a question. What was the reasoning behind eliminating that F-16 from the old logo?
I never got a reason. They were trying to clean it up, and I understood they were trying to clean it up, but I just felt very strongly that we should have left that, and it didn't happen. So without going into, a bunch of conversation that really doesn't matter at this point, I'd just like to move forward. Mr. Shahada?
Mayor, council members, this is your direction. We will do some renderings with the company that did the logo and bring it back for your review, maybe one of the committee of the holes. And if you like it, you tell us which one you like, and again, you could consider it done.
Thank you very, very much. I hope council supports me on this item. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I believe that ends this meeting. With no more business to attend to, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.